And tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, the Humane Society will be hosting its annual Home for the Holidays event.
And the second annual Black Excellence Networking Ball is coming to Oswego.
Plus, International Education Week starts next week.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Kyle Spizak.
And I'm Aurora Fitzgerald.
The International Student and Scholar Services and Education Abroad Office will be hosting this year's International Education Week. The week-long event will be taking place next week, and both offices will be hosting different events throughout the week, starting on Monday with a virtual information session on studying abroad in Italy.
The event was created to shed light on both offices and the work they did for international students and students studying abroad. If you or anyone you know is interested in learning about the diverse international community on campus, both offices will be tabling in MCC on Wednesday, where international students will showcase their home countries. For the full list of events, the ISSS Laker Life events webpage.
The African Americans Male Empowerment Network will be hosting its second annual Black Excellence Networking Ball. The event will give male students of color the opportunity to network and connect with men of color who have succeeded in their careers. Some of the attendees will include recent alumni, and the event will be taking place this Saturday starting at noon in MCC.
Earlier this week in Sandy Creek, New York, the Oswego County Legislature awarded the Oswego County Fair over $100,000 in American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA, funds for important maintenance. After having this initially planned for 2020, the plan was put on hold from the pandemic, but is now ready to move forward. Legislator Michael Yurden expresses his happiness for the approved funds and hopes the improvements will increase tourism to the location for the upcoming years.
The Oswego County Humane Society will be hosting its annual Home for the Holidays event. The event will have adoptable animals, and it will include over 20 tables of vendors and creators. There will be a raffle featuring items from each table and free photos with Santa from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The event will take place on December 2nd at the Oswego Elks Lodge from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So far, the recent weeks have been unbelievable with the chilling temperatures. Can we expect any snow later this week?
Let's take a first look at your winterful forecast with Storm Team 10 Chief Meteorologist Evan Beardron.
Yes, we will be seeing some snow later this week. But last night, we did see some lake effect rain showers impact our area, and this photo submitted by Bradley Jacobs shows that glow from the lightning over the lake. We're experiencing a lot of active weather throughout tomorrow and into the weekend. As these temperatures start to cool down, and later next week, it will again warm back up. I'll have more of my full forecast coming up after the break, but first, back to the desk.
Thanks, Evan. And as winter approaches, the following information will be helpful in the case of severely inclement weather impacting on-campus classes on main campus and Syracuse campuses. As the winter months start, the campus administration will review forecasts, warnings, and advisories and consider the options, whether it be canceling classes or declaring a remote day.
A person of interest in the fatal shooting that happened on Interstate 190 in Buffalo last month has been taken into custody by law enforcement earlier today. 19-year-old Tremere Garner has been charged in the shooting but was arrested on multiple warrants in an unrelated case. Garner was arrested due to crashing a stolen vehicle during a police chase in May of this year.
21-year-old student Patrick Day remains in custody after being accused of making threats of violence against Jewish students at Cornell University. Earlier this afternoon in Syracuse, with a hearing that lasted more than an hour, U.S. Magistrate Judge Thursday Wiley Danix ordered Day to be held in jail. She says there was, quote, clear and convincing evidence, end quote. There was a risk to the community. Still ahead tonight, footballer Luis Diaz's father has been freed in Colombia.
Plus, Savak will be joining us live in the studio. More after the break.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
Jill
Should we
told me it
tell
was
him?
Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
Welcome back. I'm Storm Team 10 Chief Meteorologist Evan Bedron. Looking across the area, mainly cloudy throughout much of central New York. Here along the lake, we do have some more overcast and cloudy skies as lake effect rain showers will be starting up overnight. And that's because of this low pressure here in Ontario. And looking across much of the rest of eastern part of the United States, we do have that cold front here going out of the Midwest. And down here, we have another low pressure, but that will not be impacting our area. This low pressure up here to the north will be our area of focus. And overnight, as this cold front goes through our area, we'll be seeing these rain showers start to impact much of the eastern part of Lake Ontario into the Tug Hill area. And as that cold front moves through, we do have the southeasterly winds start to impact our area, bringing some breezy conditions and rain as you go throughout most of your morning commute into later in the morning to your afternoon. And areas inland will see some snow, and the snow can bring some whiteout conditions. So be careful if you are driving out in that part of the area. And guys, most of the day, those breezy conditions will stay. The rain and the snow will also be staying, but the rain will generally be far more inland because those temperatures will be increasing throughout the day. And as we go through the rest of your day, again, that rain and snow will be sticking around, but these rain and snow showers will start shifting south and west, impacting the Syracuse area as we go into the weekend and throughout your weekend. So make sure to be cautious on those roadways as you go in throughout the rest of your week into the weekend. And as we go to your AM commute forecast, 34 to 40 degrees, that wind southwest 18 miles per hour, which is why these temperatures are so low. Driving and busing, very minor, but if you're walking in that lake effect band, you will be getting drenched with rain, so I recommend taking the bus if you can. If you're going to walk, you most likely will be covered in rain as you go out to classes and work. And looking throughout tomorrow into the weekend again, tale of two seasons. Rain all along the coast of the lake with some windy conditions, but as you go inland towards Syracuse and much of eastern parts of central New York, those chilly temperatures and snow will be dominating that area. So if you're by the lake, you won't be getting impacted by any winter activity, but as soon as you go maybe 5-10 miles inland, you will be seeing some snow and chilly conditions start impacting your area. And going through our 7-day forecast, Friday, Saturday, 48, 41 degrees, lake effect snow and rain will be dominating the area. But as you go throughout the rest of your weekend into Sunday and Monday, sunny skies will start returning. Maybe some nuisance showers on Monday morning. And as you go throughout the rest of your week into mid next week, we will be seeing those rain and snow showers start to taper off as temperatures will start rising. And with those rising temperatures, we will be seeing some sunshine return to our area. As you go throughout the rest of next week, those rain showers will be returning. That is all for my forecast. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Evan. And the Student Association Volunteer Ambulance Corporation, also known as SAVAC, the first 100% volunteer and student-run ambulance corporation in the nation.
SAVAC serves as the primary EMS provider of SUNY Oswego and are a certified New York State Department of Health Basic Life Support Ambulance Corporation.
Here with us this evening from SAVAC are Catherine Gilligan and John Oliveri. How are you guys doing here tonight?
Pretty good. How are you?
Oh, good. Welcome for being here. So to get things rolling, what exactly is SAVAC?
So SAVAC is a ambulance agency that operates primarily here on campus. We serve the campus community and occasionally the surrounding area when called upon. We work a lot with other agencies in the county and in the area to provide life-saving measures to the Oswego community.
Awesome.
That's great. So can you tell us why you guys are involved? What inspired you to do this kind of thing?
So I've always been interested in medicine, especially emergency medicine. Growing up, my mom is a doctor, so I've always kind of been in the medical field. The longer I've kind of looked into things, the thought of saving people and helping people really sticks out to me. I think it's a good use of my free time.
Awesome. And so what are some of the ways that you guys can really help benefit the student community here on campus?
So obviously our primary benefit to the student community is 911 response. If you call 911 for a medical emergency on campus, we will be notified and we're the primary responding ambulance. Now, depending on the nature of the emergency, we may have support from Oswego Town Fire, Oswego City Fire, or Mentor Ambulance, depending on the situation. But it is our primary CON. It's our responsibility.
Awesome.
Now, what is a common misconception about SAVAC and your help? Is there anything that people would mistake?
SAVAC is 100% free to all students. A lot of people think calling an ambulance is automatically going to be this huge bill that they have to worry about, but if you're calling 911 from campus and SAVAC shows up, you will not receive a bill.
Not from us.
No, not from us.
And as students are heading into this weekend, what is your advice on how students can be safe, especially with temperatures dropping?
As temperatures drop, we have, we worry about hypothermia, obviously, especially with people going out to the bars, people going to town. They're not dressed appropriately for the weather often. And we'd like to not see them end up in the back of our ambulance or mentors. So we ask that everyone, in order to be safe, dress appropriately for the weather, especially as the snow starts rolling in. It's not worth risking your health.
Also, watch your footing. When there's ice and snow on the ground, we have a good handful of calls because people just go whoop.
And how long have both of you been involved with SAVAC here on campus?
I've been since fall 2021.
I joined in spring of 2022. So.
That's awesome. And is this something that you guys can see taking your experience and furthering it after school and going down the EMS route?
Yes.
So, sorry.
No.
I already volunteer with another fire department ambulance agency back in my hometown, and I'm looking to get a job as a paid EMT somewhere.
Awesome. Catherine and John, thank you for joining us this evening. And to find out more about how you can become involved with SAVAC or have any questions, feel free to visit their Instagram page at SAVAC Oswego.
Moving on to national news, Mar-a-Lago workers may be called to testify against former President Donald Trump, according to sources familiar with the investigation. Federal prosecutors could call staffers and contract workers to testify against Trump and his co-defendants at their upcoming criminal trial. According to sources, some witnesses are from Trump's inner circle, while others are workers who do not interact with Mar-a-Lago guests. The trial is set to begin in May before the 2024 election. The federal judge presiding over the case is considering a delay.
And Steve Bannon urged a federal appeals court in Washington, D.C. to overturn his contempt of Congress conviction. He was sentenced to 4 months in prison during today's hearing. His attorney, David Schoen, says the legal advice by his attorney then did not comply with the subpoena. Schoen says the trial court judge made a mistake by not letting him assert executive privilege. The panel appeared skeptical because he was not at the White House during the time of the attack on the Capitol. The panel has yet to make a decision. How safe is America's aviation system? That question is the central focus of the Senate subcommittee hearing today.
Still, there are problems not addressed. The risk of potential catastrophe rises exponentially with each takeoff. Laura Aguirre has more.
Our safety system is showing clear signs of strain that we cannot ignore.
A dire warning about air travel as millions prepare to fly this coming holiday season. The head of the NTSB, joined by other leaders in the aviation industry, testifying before a Senate subcommittee Thursday as national close call incidents tick upward.
The NTSB has opened investigations into 7 runway incursions this year alone.
Incursions where planes often came within several hundred feet of each other. In Houston 2 weeks ago, 2 small jets actually collided on the runway. There were no injuries in these recent events. However,
0 has to be the only acceptable number.
Understaffing, the FAA requires mandatory overtime to our controller workforce, including regular 6-day work weeks and 10-hour days. This leads to fatigue.
The Air Traffic Controllers Union president says only 6 fully trained controllers were hired over the past year.
The FAA must adopt the updated and more accurate operational staffing targets.
Our agency's staffing and funding levels have remained somewhat stagnant since 1997.
All critical issues that could worsen if the government fails to avoid a shutdown in 8 days.
That would force the FAA to suspend hiring, close its training academy, delay the pipeline of new controllers, delay modernization, which would be a catastrophic impact to the national airspace system.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
And footballer Luis Diaz's father has been freed from Colombia. Colombia's government delegation for peace with the National Liberation Guerrilla Group welcomed the release today. In a statement, the delegation thanked the police and military as well as the United Nations verification mission in Colombia and the Episcopal Conference for their help with Diaz's release. And when WTOP-10 Nightly News continues, find out more about the benefits and disadvantages of the 4-day work week.
And the Screen Actors Guild strike has come to an end, but what will this new deal contain? We'll be right back.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that black.
Look at the bling. Look at do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep.
10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
Scored going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that.
Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride.
Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
Kevin, I need that back.
No.
Kevin!
And welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. In consumer news, Hollywood is making a comeback as actors' strikes end, with SAG-AFTRA reaching a tentative deal at 12:01 a.m. this morning. Because of the 118-day strike, the TV and film industry have been at a standstill as screenwriters, producers, alongside other Hollywood actors were upset about the streaming service pay and were skeptical of fast-developing artificial intelligence. No specific details of the deal have been released as the deal is still being revised by the SAG-AFTRA board.
Initial jobless claims are holding steady as the Labor Department says that there were 217,000 first-time claims for unemployment benefits during the week of October 29th. Meanwhile, the number of continuing claims, which are filed by people who have received unemployment benefits for more than 1 week, to 22,000 from the previous week's downwardly revised level. Jobless claims continue to be at their highest level since April, which could signal that those who are unemployed are having more difficulty finding work. Although jobless claims are trending upward, they are still below historical averages.
Many companies across the country have experimented with a 4-day work week for their employees, but now a survey is providing more insight into the types of schedules people prefer.
But I would say a 4-day work week may not be the best option for everyone. Ivan Rodriguez has the latest.
Once considered a fantasy, more and more companies are experimenting with the 4-day work week
testing what's always been the norm.
There were obviously benefits for sort of individuals in the sense of having more time for family, rest and recovery.
But the benefits don't stop with the employees.
Having those boundaries really encourages companies to think about their processes, make them work more effectively, and make them more resilient and sustainable organizations.
When people were asked how different options would impact their well-being at work, 77% of U.S. workers said a 4-day, 40-hour work week would have a positive impact, according to a new Gallup survey. But experts say those 10-hour days could lead to burnout.
It's a question of, do you like a 3-day weekend more than you hate 10-hour work days?
The COVID-19 pandemic forced employers to embrace work from home and hybrid options. But now economic uncertainty is leading large companies to order their employees to return to the office. So would a 4-day work week ever be embraced by the corporate world?
We've seen a divergence between the largest companies really doubling down against flexibility over the past few months, but flexibility is still thriving among smaller and mid-sized businesses that are using that benefit, and flexibility is a benefit, as a way to attract workers who wouldn't necessarily consider them otherwise.
And attention all pet owners, Mid-America Pet Food is expanding a recall of dog and cat food that started last week. The impacted brands include Victor's Super Premium Dog Foods, Wayne Feeds Dog Food, Eagle Mountain Pet Food, and some Members Mark varieties. They have Best Buy dates before October 31st of next year, and the food may contain salmonella, which can make pets sick and also the people who handle the food sick if they don't wash their hands after handling. As of last Wednesday, 7 people had reported salmonella infections.
5 months after receiving the world's first successful whole activity, doing well and looking forward to Thanksgiving with family. The electrical lineman lost his nose, lips, left eye, left cheek, and a part of his left arm, and went into a coma after an accident involving a live wire. A partial face transplant was in order, but a full transplant of the entire eye had never been done before. A surgical team at NYU Langone Health in New York did the surgery. The procedure in late May lasted about 21 hours and involved a team of more than 140 surgeons. James hasn't regained sight in his left eye, but there is blood flow to his retina, and his doctors are impressed with the recovery.
And coming up in sports, Jolie Santiago is in the studio.
Jolie, can you give us a quick preview?
Of course, guys. Well, it's been a slow week for Oswego sports as we transition between fall and winter season, but that means we have previews of some Lakers seasons and what to watch this weekend. Stay tuned for that and more after the break. Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the Earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. I'm Julie Santiago, your sports reporter for tonight. Wrestling is on the road this weekend to face Brockport, Penn College, and Niagara County Community College. They had their first matches, though, this past weekend at the Ithaca Invitational. On Friday, Lakers placed 5th of 12 with 32.5 points, and again on Saturday with 5th of 12 and 88 points. First-year Josiah Rios participated in his first match and says they're off to a great start and needing to put in hard work at practice. Rios, who is also a veteran, says he anticipates good outcomes for the Lakers come their matches on Veterans Day. Speaking of upcoming matches, though, Lady Lakers will look to take on the Morrisville Mustangs tomorrow at 3 p.m. Mustangs are 2-1, while Lakers are 2-2. Lakers are coming off double losses this past weekend against SUNYAC competitors, the Cardinals and Kangaroos. The team says it's all about bouncing back. Simone Bednarik, member of last season's Newell all-rookie team, said they're ready to go after last weekend.
So obviously losses are hard to deal with. They're hard to happen. You always want to win a game, but I'm not super mad about them anymore because I know that I'd rather lose a couple games now and work on what we need to work on and then win in the end and keep winning through winter session and through second semester. So
Lady Lakers look forward to their competition down the line too, like the double games against Cortland. Now, men's basketball is ready to begin their season. They're a mainly veteran team with well-known names like Jeremiah Sparks, which I anticipate us hearing a lot of. New guys on the team include 2 freshmen with, quote, great attitudes, and 3 transfers, including Jaden Kennedy, who's a third year playing college basketball, knows the offense and defense very well, Elijah Hardison, 6'8", D1 transfer, who is said to give defensive presence around the basket. And Kenny Lazo started at the D2 level, scored plenty, and is characterized as enthusiastic on the court. Coach Leon says this team has had 26 practices before tomorrow starts the regular season. Their season has been packed, and there's going to be 7 games at home, and Coach Leon has a lot more to say about that.
We always attempt to play the most challenging schedule possible. Every team that will play here in the first semester is going to be a very worthy opponent, and we're going to have to play well to have an opportunity to win.
And late next month, the Lakers will roll the dice at the Las Vegas D3Hoops.com Classic. That's something to tune into when the time comes. But in terms of something happening tomorrow, it's late night at Lee. Students, faculty, and staff are invited to participate in Blacklight Zumba, glow-in-the-dark volleyball, Just Dance, and other activities. So it's looking like they're going to be moving and grooving over there tomorrow. So there's going to be giveaways, prizes, a lot of food. And I hope you guys are able to go. I'm going to go. It's 9 to 11 in Lee Hall. And yeah, there's just going to be a lot of fun. So it's definitely something that you guys should go to if you have a chance.
And a lot going on in Laker this weekend as well.
Yep.
We have 4 games at Laker Hall this weekend, don't we, Jolie?
Yep, we do. So there's just a lot going on in general. And honestly, it's so cool to watch. I love sports, and I love that you guys are so engaged too. But yeah.
And although the basketball will be played indoors, Evan, what can we expect outside of the Zeal?
So tomorrow specifically, there is going to be a lot of lake effect showers impacting much of northern central New York. As we go throughout the rest of the weekend, those temperatures start to decrease. So good thing is inside, because outside it will be frigid out. So make sure if you are outside, you do have a coat on as you head out the door. As you go throughout most of the weekend, the sun will start to return as you do head into next week. And along with the sun, the temperatures will also begin to rise.
And that's all the time we have for you tonight. That's our report.
Thank you for watching. Have a great night, everybody.